Safe shots on goal for some of these goalies. Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some freaking money. It's time for Pocket with Jo. Happy Sunday fun day, everyone. Jo here of SportsGrid. It's time for a Pocket with Jo over here on SportsGrid TV on X. Now, we have a busier schedule on this Sunday out there on the ice, so we're going to go over each and every single one of these games like we always do. If this is your first time joining us here on SportsGrid TV on X for Pocket with Jo, thank you so much for joining us here today. And if you join me each and every day, thank you to you as well. If you guys can hit that like and retweet button, I would so appreciate it. It helps this show keep going each and every single day. So let's jump into these games. We're going to go over each and every single one of them. Again, we will do that recap at the end. The first game we're going to look at here is the Seattle Kraken taking on the New York Rangers. Now, the New York Rangers finally got a win. It was interesting to see them come out so nice and strong versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. They were able to get the 4-2 win in that game. Now, Trouba, how they dealt with him, I still think isn't great. He now will be with the Anaheim Ducks. So their captain has left, and this team did come together with him being taken out of the locker room. You got to wonder if he really was the issue here. They're going to face the Seattle Kraken tonight. And I know a lot of you really like what you've seen out of the Seattle Kraken. This isn't a team I can trust. You still look at them over their last 10. They're just 4-6 in that last 10. Brandon Montour has been really strong out there. Jared McCann, you got your playmakers for Seattle that have helped them get those 4 wins out of their last 10. But this Rangers team, I do think with Quick expected here, they should be able to get the win on home ice, building up that momentum of their win on Friday, the 4-2 win over the Pens. So lines on this one, too juicy, straight up on the money line, minus 166 here for the New York Rangers. And again, all odds are over on FanDuel. You've got plus 138 here for the Seattle Kraken, total 6.5, minus 140 to the under 6.5. I'm going to take here because I don't love the puck line. We know the Rangers have had their struggles. I don't love the juice we got to pay on the money line, so I will take the Rangers in 60 in regulation. That 60-minute regulation line's coming in at minus 105 for the New York Rangers, and I think they have every ability. Now, could we see the empty netter and then covering the puck line? We could. Minus 1.5 at plus 146. If that was closer to plus 160, plus 180, I think we'd have a little bit more value there, and I'd be willing to take it. But in this situation, I just don't want to. The last time these teams played back at the start of November, we saw the Rangers get the win, but it wasn't an easy one. It was a 2-0 win. It's not like they blew Seattle out of the water in that one. So I'm going to stay off the puck line. I will take the regulation bet here for the New York Rangers. Jonathan Quick, just to note, he is 13 games away before entering today for game 800 of his career. So Jonathan Quick with so much experience out there. Joey Daccord expected for the Seattle Kraken. Adam Fox has been strong out there, still yet to register that goal, but Adam Fox 20 assists so far on the season for the Rangers. And Panarin coming off a great game. In his last 10, he has been so strong, 5 goals and 4 assists. I would look at Panarin to be able to light the lamp tonight here. Now, Jared McCann on the road, or 4 of his last 5 appearances versus the Rangers, not on the road, just when he has met up with the Rangers, he's been able to light the lamp. So goal scorer here for the Seattle Kraken would be, for me, Jared McCann, and then Panarin for the New York Rangers. Let's look at the Tampa Bay Lightning taking on the Vancouver Canucks. Now, happy news for Canucks fans. Demko is back, and he will be in net tonight. Demko hasn't hit the ice in forever. This will be his season debut here for the Vancouver Canucks. They are coming in as a straight pick at minus 110. The total sitting at 6.5, minus 132 to the under. I know you guys don't love riding unders, but I do think even with the offensive output of both of these teams, we do see the under come into play in this game. The 6.5, I think, is way too high. That's why the books are making you lay that juice to the under at minus 132. I would alt this down under 5.5. I think this is a 2-1 win for one of these teams, if at most a 3-2 win for one of these teams. I just don't see this going over 5 goals. So I think we hit 5 goals or less in this one. I would ult it down to under 5.5. You're going to get plus money there. Andre Vasilevsky expected here for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's 3 games away from 500 entering today's game, you guys. So another note here on a goaltender. And then with Demko back, I'm expecting a lot out of Demko. Now, we have seen the Lightning come out really strong in that sort of favorite role. Now, they're not a pure favorite in this one. This is a pick 'em. In the favorite role, we have seen Tampa win their last 4 first periods out there, and I could expect them to come out strong in this first and hit Demko quickly, and then Demko to lock down for the rest of the game. So I don't hate the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first period. It's all going to come down to Demko in that first period. Again, I think we get defense ruling this game. We have seen Vancouver lose after a home win. It's been a struggle for them to tie these wins together at home, doing so in their last 10, losing after that home win. Now they're off a win versus, I can't remember who they played in their last game out, but they lost that one 5-3. I'm just drawing a complete blank there, you guys. If you know it, throw it out in the comments. They are 6-3-1 in their last 10, and so are the Tampa Bay Lightning here. So both of these teams have been playing a solid hockey. We have the Tampa Bay Lightning off a win versus the Sharks. They steamrolled over the Sharks on Thursday. They have the extra rest advantage. They didn't play Friday. And then they got the Oilers on deck Tuesday, and then the Flames on Thursday. So I'm looking at the Lightning winning this one 3-1, 2-1 here in this matchup. Kucherov is day-to-day, though, so that's a little bit of a concern here. Elias Pettersson has been strong for Vancouver, and Jake DeBrusk. We like Jake DeBrusk out here. He's been able to get those goals up on the board as well. Good morning to each and every one of you. I really appreciate you guys. I see all of you guys in the comments every day. Okay, shut up. Dawson is the best. Dawson coming at us with it's Demko's birthday. I didn't realize it is Demko's birthday today. No way. Let's rewind. Let's not take the Tampa Bay Lightning here. Demko on his birthday. Can he get the win here for the Vancouver Canucks? You got to love a goalie on their birthday. Look at Demko for his save shots on goal to the over. Look for the Vancouver Canucks to now win it. You guys, that's the best hint ever. Demko on his birthday, on his return. Tampa, if they win in the first period. And then now I really do think Vancouver 3-1. Okay, we got a Demko birthday prop. I'm going right in on that, you guys. Dawson, you are a hero for giving us Demko's birthday was today. I totally missed that. Holloway, goal, saved. Oh, you got Holloway for the goal last night. Nice. At plus 420, Chip. I love where you're going. I do think that one stays under the total of 5.5 again. Ult it to the under 5.5. The 6.5 is too juiced. I'll just let you know, ulting that total goals where you're sitting with that, because I can't remember the number I got. So under 5.5 is plus 122. If you want to take it under 4.5, you're getting plus 320. That I do think with Demko and his birthday could come into play today. At plus 320, it's worth a little bit of a sprinkle. Let's move on to the next game, you guys. The New York Islanders taking on the Ottawa Senators. Sorokin expected in goal here for the Islanders, and Forsberg for the Ottawa Senators. Now, Forsberg versus the Islanders. Those numbers are not pretty at all, you guys. I wanted to roll with the Ottawa Senators here on the puck line. The puck line coming in laying a goal and a half is a plus 168. The money line for the Ottawa Senators minus 146, plus 122 here for the Isles, total of 5.5. The juice to the over is minus 134, minus 110 to the under. I looked at Forsberg's numbers, Anton Forsberg versus the Islanders, and there's no way I can sit here and take the puck line for the Ottawa Senators. He will need so much support from his defense with his numbers. He's got an 883 save percentage versus the Islanders, so I can't get there. And then when we look at Sorokin versus the Senators, he's gone 3-0-1 in 4 games with a 1.96 goals against average and a save percentage of 943. Sorokin can play versus the Sens. Forsberg cannot play versus the Islanders. I'm going to look here because I still like the offense of the Islanders. I still like what they've been able to do. This team is strong on the second night. of a back-to-back, and the Islanders have struggled. The Islanders have lost their last 10 games on the second night of a back-to-back. While we look at the Ottawa Senators, they've covered that puck line as a home favorite in their last 10 on the second night of a back-to-back. So they've come out nice and strong. I love them to come out offensively. Their power plays clicking. The special teams aren't clicking here for the Islanders. And I thought that they could steamroll over the Isles. Then I saw Forsberg and his numbers. So it was a stay off. What I'm going to look at, because I still do believe Forsberg will give up those goals. Could the Senators still win this in a 5-3 game? Yeah, and cover that puck line? Absolutely. I could see it playing out that way. So I'm going to take the New York Islanders team total over 2.5. It's a little juicy at -124, but I think no matter what, we're going to see Forsberg allow those goals to come in. And then I'm not sweating the fact that Sorokin's played hot against the Ottawa Senators. So the Islanders team total over 2.5 goals in this one. The Columbus Blue Jackets then take on the Winnipeg Jets. We've got Elvis expected here for Columbus and Eric Crombie for the Winnipeg Jets. Now, current lines on this one, -172 here for Winnipeg, +140 for the Columbus Blue Jackets. We look at a total of 6.5, -128 to the under. I'm expecting a fast start between these two teams. I'm going to look at over 1.5 goals in the first period. That's coming in at -128. I'm also going to look at both teams to score in the first period at +168. We look at the Columbus Blue Jackets. Elvis expected in a net. He's got a 3.88 goals against average and a save percentage of 886 versus the Jets in his career going 2-3-1. This team has lost their last 3 games. They're off the loss to Vancouver. That is who Vancouver beat. 5-2. So they're off that loss there. This is the last game of a long road trip as well. 5-game road trip. I do think defense has those laps. We know how strong the Winnipeg Jets are out there on the ice. This offense can explode at any point, but we've seen them limited in some of these games. That being said, it is the second night of a back-to-back. They had a battle with the Chicago Blackhawks. I forgot the coaches fired situation with Chicago, and it looked like yesterday at one point Chicago was going to come out and get the straight up win, but they weren't able to do so. We end up seeing the Winnipeg Jets pulling away, getting the 4-2 road win. So now they're returning home in this one. This is a light game for them compared to what they have on deck. That the Bruins on deck on Tuesday, and then we see them face the Vegas Golden Knights on Thursday. So definitely looking ahead to those 2 games. This battle here with Columbus, I think we see a little bit of lack of defense. And you look at goaltending, Eric Crombie in goal tonight. Now, Eric Crombie is 3-0-0 in 3 career games versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. So that sounds great. But then you start looking at his goals against average. He needs that support by his offense to keep them in the game, because he still has a goals against average of 3 versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. That save percentage pretty good, though, at .907. So I do expect those goals to come in. Just give me both teams to score at +168 and the first period over 1.5. So those are both first period bets. Now, when we look at how these two teams have done versus each other, the Jets really have steamrolled. They've dominated. In their last 3 meetings with Columbus, they've outscored them 17-3. They won on November 1st, 6-2. So big blowout win. They won the last 4 meetings straight up versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. You can look here at the Winnipeg Jets on the puck line, laying 1.5 at +140. Again, it's going to come down to how Eric Crombie looks in net, if he can make those crucial saves. Elvis, he allows those goals, you guys. He's allowed so many goals to the Winnipeg Jets. Again, high-scoring game. I would look at the first period over the 1.5. You could even take this first period over 2.5. I could see it being a 2-1 first period. Let's look at that first period over 2.5 goals, actually, because I really am digging it in this matchup. I think we can see a ton of goals in that first period. Okay, the goal in the first 5 minutes of the first period is +172. If you want to get in and out of this game really quick, you can definitely look at that. I can see those goals coming for sure. I'm just trying to find the outline here for this game in the first period, and I'm not seeing it right now on FanDuel. Now, you can take Columbus just for a goal in the first period. It's -136. It's way too juiced. I'm just seeing the over 1.5. So yeah, there's no outlines in that first period, which is a shame because I think we will see 3 goals in the first period between these two teams. So it should be a great matchup if you're liking goals in this one. Let's look at the Colorado Avalanche next versus the New Jersey Devils. Scott Wedgwood expected here for Colorado and Jacob Markstrom for the Devils. Now, this one has a total of 6.5. Again, we're seeing the juice to the over at minus 130. We have the Devils, the favorite home, minus 154, plus 128 for the Colorado Avalanche. With the New Jersey Devils laying 1.5 on the puck line is minus 154. I love the fact that we got Ross Colton back in the lineup for Colorado yesterday. If you didn't see the game versus the Red Wings yesterday, he was able to register 3 shots on goal. Ross Colton was a moneymaker before he went out with injury, and I'm looking for him to be that moneymaker again. Ross Colton for the power play point, like my favorite bet of the day. The power play point coming in at plus 500. Now, we know Colorado strong on the power play, 29.6% conversion rate. The problem is the Devils' kill is strong. 80% kill, 14th best in the league, but they spend a ton of minutes in the box. They're averaging 9.8 penalty minutes per game. When we look at Colorado, they have a weaker kill, but they take less penalties. They're only averaging 7.4 penalty minutes per game. They're going to have to be really careful to stay out of that box because the Devils are one of the better power play units out there, averaging 33.7% of the time out there. So we're seeing both strong power plays. The stronger kill is with the Devils, but they spend more time in the box. So we're going to see more opportunities here for Colorado, I think. I'm going to take Ross Colton for the power play point. That's coming in at plus 500. Now, Nathan MacKinnon has been so strong this season already. 41 points on the season, 32 of those coming via assists. Nico Hischier and Jasper Bratt are lighting the lamp and playing so strong out here for the Devils, as well as Jack Hughes and Jasper Bratt. So those would be your playmakers. I'm looking for this game to go to overtime, you guys. You know I love an overtime bet. That's coming in at plus 340, and I'm going to take this over 6.5. Now, I know with the goaltending here, Jacob Markstrom and Scott Wedgwood, we could see that lower game, especially when you look at Wedgwood, what he's been able to do versus the Devils. And remember, he did play at one point for the New Jersey Devils. He has a 3-0-0 record in 5 games versus the New Jersey Devils with a .958 save percentage. It is crazy. The last time when he was with the Predators versus the Devils, he stopped all 15 shots on him. He had stepped in for Saros after Saros got yanked. So we have seen him come in strong, but I think in this one, the Devils are just so strong on that power play. The Colorado Avalanche is so strong on that power play. I think we see goals in a hard-hitting battle between these two. So that is where I'm going to go with that one. Oh, you're seeing the over 2.5? Is that over 2.5 goals in the first period coming in at plus 210? So Dawson, if it's coming in at that, I like it for sure. Great call on Timo Meier. Yeah, Timo Meier did fantastic. We were looking at those, what's it called? I draw a blank on words so many times when I'm talking to you guys here, and I'm like, oh, milestones. Milestones is the word I was looking for. So you got to look at those players with those milestones. After we finish going over this, after we do the recap, we'll just have a quick another look at those milestones. There's so many to look at. And again, if you don't have that link to where I look for those milestones, let me know. I can send it over to you guys. I dropped it in the chat last time and I dropped it below the video. I'll drop it below the video again today. The Utah Hockey Club taking on the Philadelphia Flyers here. Interesting matchup between these two. Now, Utah was the underdog. They moved into that favorite role on the road. They're coming in at minus 111, minus 108 for the Flyers, total 6.5. The juice to the total is on the under 6.5 at minus 138. I'm going to look at Utah here, and I'm going to look at Utah's goals. I think they can put up 4 goals on the Flyers in this one. The Flyers have lost their last 2 games. It is the second night of a back-to-back. They had a hard game versus the Bruins yesterday. That went to overtime. They were on the road for that. That was a 4-3 loss to the Boston Bruins. I don't like the Flyers at home on the second night of a back-to-back. They've lost 22 of their 25 home games on the second night of a back-to-back. So that is enough to give me Utah in this one. I don't need to see anything else. We've also got Fedorov just struggling in net for the Flyers. He's expected tonight. He's got a goals against average of 877. Or sorry, a save percentage of 877, goals against average of 348. So he has had those struggles out there. I know Utah has been hot and cold with their goals in some of these games, but they're coming off a nice win as an underdog yesterday versus the Sabres. They were able to get the 5-2 win, which pushed us over our total of 6.5. So I like what we've seen out of them offensively in their last couple of games, even though, you look at their average on the season, that's 2.38 goals per game. So this is a team where I think we get that step up offensively against weak goaltending here. I will take their team total for them to get 4 goals in this over 3.5 at plus 134. Jack McBain has been really strong out there on the road. He's been able to get a goal in 4 of his last 5 road games. So I like that. And you look at Utah, when they, in their last 10, their games have averaged right around 6.2 goals per game. So the goals are coming in this one. Jackson Stabber will be in for them tonight. So he's a younger goalie. He has been in once already. He was able to get the shutout versus Vegas, but I think he'll allow a couple in tonight. Lastly, let's look at the Calgary Flames taking on the Dallas Stars. My Calgary Flames in action, almost a $2 underdog. A little bit disrespectful. No, not really. Minus a 245. It is the Dallas Stars they will be facing in Dallas. But when we look at the trends, Calgary actually plays Dallas really hard. Calgary on the puck line, plus 1.5 is minus 24, minus 124. Sign me up all day and give me that sprinkle on the money line at plus 198. I think Calgary, and it's not me being a homer, I don't like betting on my team. I like betting against them more so because then if they're going to hurt my heart, they're not hurting my wallet as well. So that total sitting at 5.5. When we look at the Calgary Flames, Dustin Wolf is expected in net. We know how strong he has been. Dustin Wolf for his save shots on goal prop is something I will be hitting on today. Calgary's allowing 29.9 shots on goal per game, and we see the Dallas Stars averaging 30.2. If Calgary is going to win this game, Dustin Wolf's going to have to stand on his head. The defense will have to give him some more support, and I do think we see that, but I still think his number should come in around 27.5, 28.5, even take it to the over. I do think Calgary's recipe for winning this game is Dustin Wolf standing on his head. Now, Calgary's had those struggles on the road, and we've seen Dustin Wolf play better at home than we have on the road, but I do think this is a great game for them to have the opportunity to win and cover that puck line. Well, to cover the puck line and get the win. So the Flames plus 1.5, they've covered the puck line in the last 5 versus the Dallas Stars, and they're also 5-2 in the last 7 meetings. So they've won 5 of the last 7. They've covered the puck lines in the last 5, and they've been the underdogs in the majority of those situations. So I'm all over the Flames today. Mackenzie Weegar has been strong for Calgary as of late, scoring a goal in 3 of the last 4. And yes, Calgary has not played well on the road. They haven't played well as a road underdog, but I'm going to go there. Jake Ottinger can be an absolute beast in net. I think this one stays under that total, lower scoring game. Again, that total coming in at 5.5 plus 110 to the under. So that is where I'm going. If you guys are ready for the recap, let's get the recap done. It is Sunday Fun Day. These games are kicking off in the next 30 minutes. Excited for them. If you haven't checked out my Cup of Joe, it is up right now. Sorry, I just got hair on my face. And then I have a same game parlay in the Madden Quickie up on the SportsGrid app. So make sure you go over and check those out. Okay, guys. Recap time here. We're going to look at the Seattle Kraken versus New York Rangers. I am take the New York Rangers to come off that momentum from their win finally on Friday. I'm going to take them in regulation. That's coming in at minus 105. They've won their last 4 versus Seattle, and I think they keep rolling here. If you're looking at goal scorers, even though I think this is going to be a lower scoring one, Jared McCann is who I would circle for Seattle. And if you want to circle one for the New York Rangers as well, I would look at Panarin. The Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Vancouver Canucks. Okay, this one has flipped on its head. Dawson pointed out so kindly for us that not only is it Demko's return, which we knew, it is Demko's birthday. We've got the Demko birthday play in effect. We're going to roll with Vancouver straight up on the money line at minus 110. If you like the Tampa Bay Lightning, they've been strong in that first period. I'd look at the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first period to hit Demko early. and then for Vancouver to come back. I think this is probably now. I was thinking a 3-1 win, 2-1 win for the Lightning. I'm flipping it, you guys. I got to go with the goalie on his birthday. Vancouver has every opportunity of winning this if Demko comes out as strong as you normally see goaltenders come out, either after the birth of their child, which we saw Bobrovsky be able to get the win yesterday, or on their birthdays. So give me here Vancouver. Give me the under, and this is again another one. The under 6.5 too highly juiced. I'm comfortable taking it under 5.5. I would go there with it. Brandon Hagel has been strong for Tampa, and then we've also seen Jake DeBrusk really stepping up for the Vancouver Canucks. The New York Islanders versus the Ottawa Senators. Again, this is one where I really wanted to take the Ottawa Senators on the puck line laying 1.5, because we look here at the New York Islanders. Their second night of a back-to-back has been disastrous for them, while we see the Ottawa Senators be really strong on the second night of a back-to-back, covering that puck line at home. So the opposite of the trends here, but I'm going to look at the Islanders to just get 3 goals on the board. Their team total over 2.5, and it's because Anton Forsberg will be in net for the Ottawa Senators. The Senators still don't give their goaltending enough support, and Forsberg really has struggled out there versus the Islanders in his career. So I think the Islanders will put up those goals. I am cautious with this full game because Sorokin has stood on his head versus the Ottawa Senators. I still think we could see a 5-3 win here for the Sens. So if you want to take a chance on the Senators -1.5 to roll with those trends at +164, I probably will put a bit of a sprinkle on it come closer to game time if we're getting a little bit more value. But I think the best bet is just looking at the Islanders, look for them to score 3 goals, get in and out of this game. The Columbus Blue Jackets then take on the Winnipeg Jets. Give me the over 1.5 in the first period. I expect offense to rule this one, and both teams to score in the first period at +168. Eric Crombie is in for the Winnipeg Jets tonight. I don't like how many goals he has allowed to Columbus, even though that save percentage is strong. And then Elvis has absolutely fallen on his face versus the Winnipeg Jets. So Winnipeg has dominated the matchup as well. So if you want to look at them on the puck line, laying 1.5 to pull away at the end of this game, that's coming in at +140. The Colorado Avalanche and the New Jersey Devils. Give me overtime all day long in this one. That's coming in at +340. I do think this one goes over that total of 6.5, even though we have a great goaltending matchup here with Scott Wedgwood and Jacob Markstrom. Ross Colton back in the lineup for the Colorado Avalanche. Give me the power play point tonight at +500. He was able to register 3 shots on goal in his return yesterday, and look for him to come out here on fire. The Devils just take too many penalty minutes at 9.8. And I do think even though Colorado will face a really strong kill here with the Devils, they will be able to get a power play goal for us. And, Ross Colton better be in that mix. Looking at Utah versus the Flyers, I'm going to roll with Utah in this one. This is a pick 'em price right now for the Utah Hockey Club. I'm also going to take their team total, and I think that's the better bet. Over 3.5 goals for the Utah Hockey Club, because we're getting plus money at +134. Fedorov coming in here for the Flyers. I just don't trust him. He's been allowing those goals, and the Flyers on the second night of back-to-back at home has been an absolute struggle for them, losing 22 of their last 25 home games on the second night of a back-to-back. The Calgary Flames and the Dallas Stars. I'm calling the upset with my Calgary Flames here. I'm going to grab Calgary straight up on the money line. I'm also going to grab them +1.5 at -124 on that puck line. I'm expecting Dustin Wolf to stand on his head, and that's the only way Calgary is going to be able to win this one versus the Dallas Stars. I think this game goes under the total because it's Dustin Wolf versus Jake Ottinger. Both of these goaltenders have been playing hot out there in goal, and while Wolf has had more success at home, I'm expecting this to be a road game that he finds success because of the fact Calgary has actually dominated the Dallas Stars. They covered the puck line in the last 5 versus the Stars. They're 5-2 in the last 7 meetings, and in a lot of these games, they have been the underdog. So let's roll hot with the Calgary Flames to pull off the upset. Let's look at Mackenzie Weegar to come out nice and strong to get that goal as well, you guys. So favorite player props today is definitely looking at the goaltenders, Dustin Wolf for his save shots on goal, and Demko all day long for his could say shots on goal as well. I think on his birthday, he stands on his head. Again, thank you so much, Dawson, for pointing that out. I would have hated if we missed that today. Then I'm going to look at Ross Colton for his. You can just look at his point. I don't blame you for looking at his point. You could also look at Jasper Bratt, Nico Hischier, and Timo Meier there for the Devils, and Nathan McKinnon for the Abs. I think the points are coming for those players tonight. Work around that game, parlay some of them together. So that is where I'm going. If we're looking at a couple other milestones to make sure we haven't missed any out there, let's just look at games played if anyone's coming up to any milestones for games played here, you guys. No, I'm not seeing anyone of note today. There, Jamie Benn is 11 away from 400 in goals. Austin Matthews, 24 away still from 400. Mika Zibanejad is 1 goal away from that 300 mark. So if you want to look at Mika here for the New York Rangers, I don't blame you. Vladimir Tarasenko, 3 away from 300. So that's where we're looking there. Assists, if you want to look at assists, we have Nathan McKinnon 4 assists away from a 600 tonight. Ryan O'Reilly is 2 away from his milestone. Corey Perry, 21 away from 500. Corey Perry really been playing strong. And Mika Zibanejad, he's actually 2 assists away from 400 assists. Looking at those points just really quickly, we know Ovi 25 away from 1,600. I can't wait for him to get back out on the ice. Okay, let's Mika Zibanejad also 3 points away from 700. Man, I tell you, he's in the next couple of games. He's going to be hitting some big milestones. Again, Jonathan Quick, 13 games away from game number 800 out there. But that's what we're looking at. Vasilevsky, 3 games away from a 500. Okay, you guys, that is everything. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here each and every single day with me here on Puck It with Jo. Again, check out my Madden Quickie and my same game parlay. Both of those in the early games. So they are up on the SportsGrid app. You guys have a great day. Let's make some freaking money. Ovi or Crosby? Ovi. It's Ovi all day for me over Crosby, Chip. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let's debate that in the comments below. Ovechkin or Sidney Crosby? Who has the better career out there? It's got to be Ovi for me. I love Sidney Crosby, though, as well. Both of them, such legends out there on the ice. You guys, thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow.